Good Monday morning as we start off the week. Of course, we have a lot to talk about. The leftovers of the rain from this weekend, on and off, chances of showers and thunderstorms through the week, and of course, the impending Florence, and then beyond. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep this shorter, so we'll see how we do. Starting out with the current outlooks of the floods and the flooding rain aftermath, as well as a strong coastal onshore flow causing flooding along the coastline. This is what you're seeing here. This is all the leftover. These are all flood warnings. They even go down into the rivers of Northern Virginia, anywhere from 3 to maybe 6 inches, possibly some places. Likely more like 2 to 5 inches of rain fell. And most of these areas already saturated because of a lot of rain. This is the leftover remnants of Gordon and a high pressure system coming down from the north, which has actually caused colder than normal. Well, not colder than normal, but colder temperatures into New England, which has actually caused frosts and freezes up here this morning and will tomorrow morning as well. This high up here is what's going to build strong to the east and influence us later this week. But just be careful. If you see flooding, don't touch it. Also, there was a lot of winds in the areas. They've gotten a lot of rain, and because of that, a lot of trees have toppled. Not a lot, but several trees have toppled. Stay away from any wires that are down. Be careful out there. As I was mentioning, here are the winds. This is a cool wind map by windy.com. If you're interested in going in and taking a look at it. This is a strong onshore flow. These winds are up 30 miles per hour plus, 40 mile per hour plus, going against the coast for a long duration, and that's causing a lot of water to back up, even up into here. Old Town Alexandria in Northern Virginia has had flooding for the last couple of days. There's flood warnings posted along all these coastal regions because this prolonged easterly fetch has stacked water up against the shoreline. So, yeah, even way ahead of Florence, we're already seeing impacts because Florence's impact from the south and a front here and a strong high to the north are causing the easterly fetch to be really strong. Swells on the east coast are also increasing, so just be careful out there. Obviously, swimming is probably not a good idea at all anywhere along here, so don't mess around. It's not worth drowning. So, because sometimes it's easy to get lost in the long range when you have something like Florence coming. Just wanted to cover the weather the next couple of days. This low pressure system here has been moving northeast. Again, this is remnants of Gordon influencing rain up to the north and causing potential flooding up that way today. And the potential is there too for marginal severe weather in the northeastern part of Maryland and up into Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, and up into New England. As those remnants and combined with some disturbance there. So please be careful. This also is indicative, this little sag here, of cold air damming, which is high to the north has caused. So it's been cooler than normal all weekend from Saturday and Sunday, all into Northern Virginia, into the eastern slopes of the mountains. This cold air has been dammed up against here. Highs yesterday in the low 60s to 50s up into Maryland and to Pennsylvania. So much cooler than it had been last week at this time, so just something to note there. As we move forward, we see that front is moving through, so there could be some more storms tomorrow. And then moving ahead one more day, we see this stalling front here. So again, chances of showers and storms continue along the east coast. Again, we don't like any more rain out here because it's already saturated, and of course then we got what's coming next. And just look at today's highs, you still see the cooler temperatures up to the north. But as you get down south, you're really hot down here. There's a battle going on between the seasons as we get into more closer to autumn. So anyway, interesting weather there. Even though we've had this cooler than normal intrusion here from this high to the north, and what would ultimately would go into the Atlantic Ocean and cause the ridge to the north, which will stall out Florence. What you are seeing here as well is, and long term, this is a 10-day forecast, a continuation of above normal temperatures in the east, and that actually continues even into the longer range, although we do see a intrusion here of more normal air for this time of year kind of coming down as we see a little bit of a pattern shift. Now in the short term too, of course, we got precipitation above normal because of the impacts of Florence, but if you look in the long range, precipitation still looks above normal actually because of the ongoing remnants. I'm sorry, folks. I'm hitting something there. Along the East Coast. So still staying moist and wet here on the East Coast. So anyway, for flooding concerns, that's a big concern. And as we hit the peak of hurricane season, surprise, surprise, we have 3 hurricanes out here in the Atlantic. You see a 105 mile per hour Florence, which we are going to talk about it here in a minute. We have a 75 mile per hour Isaac and a 85 mile per hour Helene, which is off the screen there. But anyway, Helene is going to move out this way. Isaac's going to go this way, but it should weaken as it goes into the Leeward Islands. We have to watch it later, but we'll just say it's here for now. Something you're not seeing on the map is there's this area of interest here in the Caribbean, and yep, this does need some watching because as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, it does have a chance to strengthen some. We'll have to see what happens. Regardless, this could cause quite a bit of rain into Texas. And yes, the elephant in the room. Here we got Florence. Now, here's the deal with Florence. Number one, we still have days away to deal with things. But if you're along the coast of the South Carolina, North Carolina, maybe even to Southeast Virginia, I mean, get your act together, guys. There's no doubt a hurricane's coming. It's going to come close enough to impact you. You need to get your stuff taken care of now and get ready to leave in the next day or so, as evacuation orders are likely to be issued probably in the next 48 hours, if not sooner. So just you got to finish up. You got to start getting ready to leave town and go somewhere. People in North Carolina, northern South Carolina, southwest Virginia, it looks like now, maybe even the southern half of Virginia. Guys, there's a huge rainstorm coming. I mean, I'm talking horrendous. You got to be prepared. Clear out your drains, check your sump pumps, get ready, because this is going to have a huge impact. Not only that, you have the severe weather. On top of that, heavy winds with saturated conditions already, saturated soil because of all the rain. This is a serious situation. I don't think people really get. Now, what you see in the cone of uncertainty, again, is the entire area where you potentially could get the storm. I mean, look how far this range is, all the way up here into northern Virginia, all the way down here into southern South Carolina, even potentially northern Georgia. There's a huge range here, so don't concentrate so much on where it comes on shore. You need to be thinking in general about the fact that there's an impact probably in this entire region, especially as you get South Carolina north, I would suspect. Now, right now, the most favorite track for a landfall is somewhere in here, and I'm going to go down into here. I mean, there are models going into northern South Carolina. Guys, you don't have to think too hard to remember Hugo. In case you had, this is 1989. Hurricane Hugo came on shore near Charleston. I mean, this is storm surge, overwash, destruction. I mean, the homes are gone. You guys have got to heed these cautions. I think you're going to get the picture. You get the message. Of course, you watch Weather Channel. The doom and gloom of every possible terrible scenario is there and painted for you. Sometimes it gets overwhelming. You think this couldn't be real. This isn't reality, but this is reality. Look at this picture. This could be your neighborhood if you live along the coast. So do not screw around. Get out. Heed caution. Do what you need to do. Take care of your pets. Get your supplies. Take care of the elderly. Don't only take care of yourself. Pick someone, maybe adopt a family or elderly couple or elderly people, whatever, and also think about them and how you can help them out. But the key thing is get out now. Time to know what you're doing and start moving inland if you need to. But my key is make sure you're going somewhere in the next several days. All right, so that was my message, my little preachy time. But hey, seriously, you're going to hear a lot. Sometimes you get overwhelmed with messaging and you freak out, or you don't freak out and you don't move. So I think that the key thing is, I don't think I have any trouble knowing that this is going to happen. Something else, somebody said, hey, take pictures of all your property, your materials, the things that you potentially have to claim in insurance. Now's the time to kind of take stock of that in inventory, because that's something else you need to do. But I mean, there's so many things to do to prepare. Please go online, check out MidAtlanticWeather.com. I actually put some videos of people who packed for 3 days on what they could do, and that's one option. If you're going to get a generator, you have to be safe. Don't be an idiot and connect things up wrong or at the last minute and try to figure it out. You need to figure that out today. Key thing is there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and there's going to be a ton of river flooding. If you're in a lowland area or you're prone to flooding, where this thing comes on shore to its north and to its northwest and northeast, it's just going to be a ton of rain. So how much rain? Look, I'm not going to freak you out too much here, but this is a European model through next week. I mean, come on, guys. When you see 47 inches of rain, you have to be thinking, holy cow, think of the water running downhill. Now, the European model came into South Carolina, as you can see, quite a bit of rain into South Carolina and into western North Carolina. I mean, I think this whole region in here, you may as well just count on a lot of rain. Seems like anywhere from here to the northwest into southwestern Virginia and into the Piedmont is going to get walloped with a lot of rain. And that starts Thursday, probably more like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe. I mean, that far out, there could be rain falling. So a lot to deal with. So my whole point is, if you're focusing where this little track comes on shore, you're missing the boat. You're missing the point. There's going to be a huge impact all here. And like I said, just prepare. I mean, that's all you can do. And I'm sad to even report this. There are some small indications that maybe be a little more northern turn. I mean, that would put us up here, not us, but that happens to be where I lived, up here into more of a threat. I mean, this cone is wide. If this thing comes further north, the impacts are further north. But right now, I think this is a good bet. This area, and I mean, it's climatologically prone to get hurricanes, so it makes sense to be a hurricane in this region in the sense of climatology. But realistically, you have a anomalously strong high pressure system to the north, which is part of the block, and why this thing's coming on shore. So anytime you get anything that's anomalous or out of the ordinary, anything is really possible. All right, I've already made this video way long. You got the point. A lot of rain's coming. You need to prepare. Anyway, from Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, you're fine. I mean, even check in Northern Georgia. Don't check out. Think if this thing happens to do something crazy and loop south or whatever, because it's high up to the north, becomes super high, super strong, you need to at least be vigilant. But most likely, you're talking about this area in here being majorly impacted. And I have friends and relatives all in this area, so guys, get out while you can. So, heed the warnings, heed the time, find a place, go get safe, make sure it's not flood prone too. The worst thing that happens is you get on the road, then you go to a place that's also going to flood. So there's a lot of prep here, and I think people have been very much alerted to this. All right, so I'm going to call at the end because I've already talked 12 minutes. Anybody really from these regions here, I mean, all the area that I say I cover, you guys need to be on the lookout for the worst case scenario. There will be impacts even up in this region, I think, with rain, but nothing like what you're going to see down in this area. The National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center has 15 inches or more of rain in all these areas. I mean, so the chances of a heavy rainstorm are really there. I don't know what else to say, guys. I wish there was better news. Maybe there will be. We got to watch the models. They can change, shift, and things like that. Hey, if we're going to see shifting, we should see it within the next 24 to 48 hours. That's where things will be. My biggest hope is that there's bigger weakness to the north, and even if this thing does come on shore, that it gets that weakness and gets to ride out to sea sooner instead of just hanging out here for days, which is what it looks like now. All right, 13 minutes. Goodness gracious. Have a good day, and we'll be sure to update soon.